Good morning. What's up, guys? Are you ready to rock? I am ready to rock. We are looking at a 5-minute chart. We, of course, had some volatility on the news at 7:30. The opening range volatility has been about 100 points, which is not too bad. So we've got work to do, and we have a market to get that work done in. ATR is 29, if not 30, here on the 5-minute chart. So let's get started. I'm going to pop back and forth, as is typical, between the 2 and the 5. We're going to start on the 5 and see what we can get done. Body, Giovanni Joe, how we doing, you guys? Good to see everybody. Let's get rocking, huh? All right, 55 seconds left here on this 5-minute bar. We're looking at a couple of inside closes. Well, most of the day thus far has been inside closes. I was actually looking at this bar not long after the open, and then we ended up pulling back, closing inside. So let's see what we can get. If nothing here in the next 35 seconds, we'll pop over to the 2 and see what we're looking at over there. John, good morning. How we doing? All right. 20 seconds. That golden line on the chart, by the way, again, this is a 5-minute chart if you're just coming on in. That is the 20 EMA. We take it with a grain of salt around here, but we'll keep an eye on it. All right, nothing here on the 5. Let's pop over to the 2 and see what's up. Goodness. Goodness. That's an ugly-ass 2-minute chart, huh? We'll keep an eye on it. What's going on in the 1? Maybe the 1's a little cleaner. I know some of you guys trade the 3. Yeah, well, I guess we're stuck on the 5 for now, aren't we? Let's see what we can get on the 5. Got a couple of consecutive bars, and we have something to work with. 4 minutes, 20 seconds out. Let's see what we get. Doing well, brother. Happy to be here. Bulls try to get something done. We have the 20 EMA sitting at 961. Let's see if that comes into play. 10, 15 points out. However, we also have to keep in mind, there may be a flat top here. But that's only a couple of touch points. So we're taking all of this early with that grain of salt. As things develop more, we can get a better look. But early, there's not much to look at. I'm not a big fan of mixing pre-bell with after the bell levels. The volume is just so different. The range is so different. So mostly after the bell is what we're looking at here. But believe it or not, the 5-minute is the cleanest look right now. The 2 and the 1 we just popped over and took a look at. Not looking so hot. Over on the 2 and the 1. Javaz, good morning. How we doing? Hey, KB, what's up? How we doing? All right, 2 minutes, 45 seconds out. Okay, now there's a few things going on here. Right, I mean, you could draw this. It's early. You could draw that. You could draw the well, I wouldn't draw it, but the 50% retracement point on the day thus far. I mean, that's valid this time of day. We are 35 minutes in, 30 minutes in. I mean, a few things to consider. I don't like drawing anything on the chart this early. I think everyone's trying to kind of figure out how the day is going to develop. So I like to keep it purely price action in the first, hour. If possible, unless there's something extremely clear that we got to take a look at. Good morning, how we doing? All right, 90 seconds here. HDR on the 5 minute here is about 30 points. Which, you know, this leaves us in an interesting spot. So this is quite the strong bull body. Which I'm not against taking if the bulls can close it at least 5 or 10 points above this 20 EMA. If they can't, I think that shows a little last second insecurity. 45 seconds, we will find out. Hey, Roy, good to see you. All right. All right, 15 seconds out, gonna get the copy trader engaged. Again, we're looking at a 5 minute chart. Let's see if the bulls can close this near the wick high of this bar. I'll tell you what, this is a 5 minute chart. 15 seconds is a very short amount of time to give this, but if we pop through, I do still want to get filled. We have about 3 seconds. Do we get it? We don't. Gotta pull it. Gotta pull it. Pull that. Look for the next trade. Just not there right now. And that's okay. All right, 4.5 minutes out here on the 5. Let's take a look at the 2. The 2 is looking better. Quite a bit better. How's the 1 looking? Honestly, I'm going to keep an eye on all 3 of these. Let's watch the rollover here on the 1, which is also the rollover on the 2, but there's nothing there on the 2. Inside close on the 1. You see that? Closing inside that wick. Nothing to do there either. So I suppose, you know what? Let's stay on the 1 here because we have 3 minutes, 50 seconds left on the 5 minute. So we've got some time over there, though I am still watching that. If we can get another consecutive bull body over on the 5, I'd be happy to take it. Because that would clear both the 20 EMA on the 5 and the 50% retracement point on the day. In the meantime, let's keep an eye here on the 1 and the 2 minute charts and see if we can't put on some smaller scalps, risking signal bars with some quicker resolution, win or lose, on average at least. Hey, Skeeto, how we doing? All right, we got 5 seconds here. We're on a 1 minute chart. Let's see. Nothing. Pull it. We'll go next bar. Let's pop over to the 2 and see if there's anything over there. Here's a 2 minute, 45 seconds out. Let's see if there's anything here on this 2 minute bar. All right. 30 seconds here. A little over 2 minutes left on the 5 minute bar. We're keeping an eye on the 2 here for now. Big old doji close. All right, let's pop over to the 1. And see if something interesting happens over here. Again, still minute 45 left on the 5. Keeping an eye on that. The 5 minutes actually starting to look a little bit better than it was. Still not tremendous. The 1 minute's a little wicky here, but if we get some kind of resolution signal bar, I'd still put something on here on the 1. Obviously, trades on the 1 minute chart are not expected to take quite as long on average as trades on the 5 minute. There we go. Well, ATR here on a 1 minute chart is 16. And that bar is going to be 22 points tall. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to head back over to the 5. Yeah, I'm going to head to the 5 because we have a dual rollover coming between the 5 and the 2 anyway. And between the 2, I'd prefer to take a trade on the 5. Which basically ends up being the same trade anyway because the 2 minute... I'm sorry, the peak of this 5 minute is on this current 2 minute bar that closes in 30 seconds anyway. So let's stick to the 5 here. It doesn't really change much as far as management, at least on this particular setup. And let's see here. Big ol' wick. All right, big ol' wick there on the 5. Let's pop over to the 1. All right, we got about 15 seconds here. We're looking at a 1 minute chart. Copy trader. Ready to rock. I'm going to get a stop limit sell ready in case we need to use it. And looking to see if we can get a nice low close out of the bears. Which we're not going to get. We'll cancel that and pop back over to the 2 minute chart here in a second. Actually, here, let's look at the 2. Here's a 2 minute chart. You see how we're likely to get an inside close. We got to see how this resolves itself in the next 36 seconds. Let's look at a 1 minute. All right, that's the rollover on the 1 and the 2. They're both doji. So, let's pop back to the 5. And I'll be back in 1 second before this close. Well before this close. All right, welcome back. We're 60 seconds out here from the close on this 5-minute bar. Lonnie, good morning. Christian, how we doing, brother? Good to see you. 45 seconds here. ATR here on the 5, still sitting just below 31. All right, here comes the rollover on this 5-minute bar. There's shit there, is there? All right, let's look at the 1. Garbage. Let's look at the 2. Could clean up, we'll say. What's the 3 look like? Actually, not too bad. Let's pop to the 5. And we'll hang out on the 5 here for now, bouncing around. Gaines, good morning. Roy, that's every day, big dog. We are optimized as can be for the shortest delay possible. Now, if you live a long ways away, that's your fucking problem. 4 minutes out. Let's see what we get here on the 5. All right. Yeah, 1 minute. Nothing on the 1. All right, we'll hang out here with the 5-minute, which tends to treat us pretty well. So we'll stick here on the 5 for, I don't know, a few bars at least, and see what's up. If something pops up on the 2, which is 52 seconds out from closing, we'll hop over there. Right now, there's nothing on the 2-minute. Two minutes. Joe! Anyone watch that UFO hearing at Congress? They tried to shoot it down and the missile just bounced off like nothing. I mean, I'll say it, if you think we're just genuinely, completely alone in the universe, I think you're kind of a conceited son of a bitch. I don't know, man. You think about the probabilities. People say, oh, the Fermi paradox, where is everybody? The universe is really fucking big. You understand? I don't think you understand the scale if the Fermi paradox is your argument. And by the way, we're probably not that interesting. 42 seconds. We're getting stuck right around this 20 EMA. A couple of wiki 5-minute bars here, well, 3 in a row. Yeah, inside close. We'll go next 5-minute bar. Keep an eye on the 1, keep an eye on the 2. See if we can grab some scalps in the meantime. Peter, good morning. Hey, Dan, good to see you. Dan, I feel like it's been a while. Where you been, brother? Oh, let's pop on the 2. Whole bunch of wicks on the 2. Is the 1 a little bit cleaner? Yeah, not too much. All right, 5-minute it is. ATR here on the 5, 28.29. That's actually not too bad. Not, it's not massive for this time of day. But a 29 ATR is not bad on the 5 for any time of day, so we will take it. And once we pull away from this 20 EMA here on the 5-minute chart, I think we have a better shot at breaking the ice here on the day. Dan from Croatia, huh? Wrench Capital is truly the melting pot of internet traders. Got a whole bunch of people from everywhere. All right, 2 minutes out. All right, now somebody give in. Someone's going to develop a backbone here, make a slightly more definitive push, and then boom, we're going to hit it. Let's see if that can be the bulls. They're trying to take out that little flat top. Let's see if they can. Now again, the full-blown range on the day is like 100 points, which it's not huge, but it's not 35. So I'm willing to take, like a little breakout trade, quote unquote, of these last 3 or 4 bars, because the entire range on the day is quite a bit bigger. So let's see here, minute 20 out. Jose, what's the difference between a funded account and a live account? I'm confused, or is it the same thing? Well, it's going to depend a little bit on the firm that you're talking about. Okay, but generally speaking, hold up, Jose. We're 15 seconds out, and we're here on a 5-minute chart. And if this bull body, there we go. Get a stop limit buy ready. If we close up here near the high, I'm going to have to place that stop limit buy. Slap that. That was not a good place. There we go. That's much, much better. We'll give that about 30 seconds. See if we can get a bull push up through. Give us a fill to the long side. We need to clear this signal bar's wick high. If we can't do that, then I do not want to participate. There's 30 seconds. Gotta pull it. Gotta pull it. No backbone out of the bulls. All right, we'll go next bar here. Keep an eye on the 1 minute and the 2 minute in the meantime. Jose, difference between a funded account and a live account. It depends on the firm you're talking about, but generally speaking, a funded account is simulated funds, and you take payouts based on your performance from their big pool of money, from eval purchases, activation fees. It all goes into one big pool. And when you're in a funded account, it's still a simulated environment, but it doesn't matter because we're taking payouts in real money. And then once you go live, you're in a real live futures account. Your orders are hitting the books, like actually hitting the books, which is the difference. Generally speaking, the nuances, the little changes are going to depend on the firm you're talking about. This is a 2 minute chart. Yeah, you know, we're not quite at the point where I'm looking for any excuse to get long, because this still could just be a sideways trading range. So I can't buy that rollover. So we'll head back to the 5. I am interested in doing so, in getting long, but I have no bias. It's just what the price action is doing right now. It's just, I'm not at the point where it's any excuse to get long yet. We'll see if that comes into play. All right, 45 seconds out here on this 5 minute chart from the close of this bar. We're currently testing the 20 EMA. And as this pushes, this might be worth a stab. So let's see. right, 16 seconds. Copy trader, engaged. Let's see how this bear body closes up. Coming into the 20 EMA on the 5. And bull's trying to put in a little soft bull channel, so this is worth a stab. I will punch that to the long side. Suck risk up. Right there. And see if we can get a decent little bull push back higher. So we're sitting long. ATR 27.5 here on the 5-minute chart. There you go, bulls. Keep that pushing, bulls. Oh, see if we get another run at it here. There we go. There you go, bulls. Keep that pushing. Keep that pushing. Close. Ooh, they're not quite getting it done yet. Let's see. There we go. Boom. Little better. Ooh. Beautiful placement of the limit sell. Let's see if we can get a fill. Oh, that was a gorgeous limit sell. Right at the wick high of that little push. All right. Good little scalp. Let's move on. All right, we got 2 minutes left now on this 5-minute bar. Nice little way to break the ice on the day. 2,900 bucks. Let's move on. Minute 52. Pursuit, good morning. You think we get stuck in the 23.9 to 24,000 range or break out either way? Fuck, I hope we don't get stuck in the range. I think we probably break out either way. Now, people are going to say, well, which way? Which way? I have no idea. No clue. I don't care. We'll trade the price action. What lot size do you use? It changes all the time. Position is on screen when I'm in one. All right, we're 3 minutes 45 seconds out here on the 5-minute chart. Looking to grab scalp number 2 of the day, but currently we're hanging out inside these last couple bars. So let's see if we get some kind of definitive push either direction. I really don't care. Just give me a clean bar or couple of consecutive bars to work with. And I'm happy. All right, let's check out the 1 minute. You trade this, and you probably get killed, especially this, where it's 1 bar, 2 bars, 1 bar, 1 to 2 bars, maybe breakout. If you're losing and you're currently trading this kind of garbage on a 1 minute chart when it does not look clean, or especially this kind of garbage. Look at that shit. Remove that, and I think your performance will improve tenfold. This kind of thing, man, I get it. You look at this early. It's like, that looks easy. I'll buy down here, I'll sell up here. Yeah, well, you're getting maybe half the size of an average bar, so you're getting, what, 6-7 points at best? And then when you break out, it's like, it's tempting fate every time that it's these little 1, 1, 1, 1. See? Remove that stuff. That's not good price action. It looks easy, but it's the hardest. Leave that for the algorithms and the degenerates. Which is hopefully you're neither one of those. Rovio, what's up, brother? All right, rollover coming here. 12 seconds here on the 5. and on the 2, and of course on the 1. So this is a triple rollover happening right now. And we got a big old doji close on at least the 5. 2-minute not looking so hot either. Yeah, right now this 5 minutes kind of stuck to the 20 EMA. Well, clean that up, Outlaw. Come on now. All right, check-in time. Fucking roll call. How we doing? How we doing? Don't you lie to me. I'm doing it all in the open every day. How are you doing? And if the answer is not well, is that just how the chips fell today, or we make mistakes? Let's work on it. Maddie, small red so far today, but contained. That's the important thing. Being red is not a crime. Being emotional, whether you're red or green, is. And making decisions that don't align with the plan that you're looking at to get you to where you want to go. Listen, a really easy thing to remind yourself of. Nobody ever has traded in an incredibly emotional manner, at least for a long period of time. You know, will ignore one-off luck, which usually they just give it all back eventually because they think they have it figured out. No one's done this in an emotional manner without some kind of mix of experience, discretionary decision-making from just looking at a lot of candles, mixed with rules that are robotic and done in a consistent manner. Without that equation, no one has done this and made it work ever long-term with a big sample size. Okay, of course, people have just gambled in one big, but again, that's a different thing. Like, if you want to do that, just go buy lottery tickets. You're playing the same game. It's not different. But I assume that's not what you're here for. I assume you're here to try to make this some kind of consistent thing, right? Or take this to the end of the earth, so to speak. Which, fucking right, let's do it. But that's process-oriented, okay? So if you find yourself just doing random shit, come on, you gotta remind yourself of that. Roy, 1 for 2 this morning. Niles, how we doing? Kevin, 4 green accounts today. All funded, $255. Gaines hitting some evals. All right, we're 55 seconds out. Let's see how this 5-minute bar closes up. You know, I have a question for you guys. And I do ask this genuinely. I'm wondering, so, because hopefully you'll stop doing this. Blowing accounts is not a problem, okay? If it's happening because of normal statistical drawdown, which I don't care what strategy you run, whether it's minus, super negative reward to risk, like 1 to 8, which you shouldn't be doing with Apex. They don't allow less than 1 to 5. But you get what I'm saying. Or you're going for 8 to 1 reward to risk and everything in between. You're going to have drawdown, statistically guaranteed it's going to happen. So, for those of you guys who are getting funded but you can't get to payouts, not even necessarily consistently, just ever, you've never really gotten to a payout, or you've gotten there and then you blew it before you got the money. Is this happening because of normal statistical drawdown? Or is this happening on one day, one trade where you get emotional and move stop losses? Those are two very different things. You start averaging in, you get a blowout trend that you're trying to trade as a range, and all of a sudden 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 12 weeks of work is gone. I know that's happening to some of you. And for others, it's probably normal drawdown. But if it's happening too consistently, the answer to that isn't, I need to change everything I'm doing. The answer is, if you seem to have an edge, you're just blowing out consistently. The answer is you need to trade a little smaller so that you can handle the drawdowns and then get to a payout without triggering the trailing drawdown. Bruce, up 339, 1 funded account, 10-point scalps with 5 micros. There you go, Bruce. That's extremely reasonable. And quite a sustainable size. Good work. Cornell, emotional in my case. Yeah. One Eye says, all the time it's greed. You'll be up for the day and keep trading. I don't think that's necessarily wrong. It turns into greed when you start breaking your plan in order to keep trading. Because let's say greed can come when you're red too. You're greedy in terms of getting back to green, so you start taking trades that you wouldn't normally take if you were flat. Or if you're green and you want more green but there aren't setups there, you start taking trades that you wouldn't normally take. That's greed. If you just get a bunch of setups on one day because it happens to be a super active day, I don't care if you're up 30,000. If the setup's there and you're still here sitting in the chair working, you're doing nothing wrong by taking the setup. To say that, when I happen to be up this amount of money, I need to walk away, understand, statistically, that is meaningless. The only reason people say that is because that's how they deal with their own emotions, so they pass that on to other people, because they don't like being green and then giving it all back. I get it. I understand. We're all human. If you need to do that to protect your psychology, then do that. With the understanding that what you're doing is not statistically optimal. It's just protecting your brain. That's it. That's all you're doing. It's not like this big trading rule. It's a human rule if you choose to implement it. Well, Gains, you're either moving stop losses, you're adding 2 positions when you probably shouldn't be, right? More like randomly, and you're trading too big. I want to see you keep coming back. Size down. Kevin, I usually trade really well all the way up to the payout buffer. Then once I'm around that area, I start trading nervous and make mistakes that I normally don't. Then hide your rhythmic dashboard. Hide your P&L. I used to do this every once in a while. I had a stack of black Post-it notes on my desk. Take it off, rip it in half, cover my P&L. It's been a while since I've done it, but I used to do that. And then I would just take good trade, good trade, good trade, winner, winner, loser. Oh, loser, winner, winner. And I would just focus on taking good trades. And by the end, I'd pull it off and say, okay, where do I sit? All right, cool. Let's get out of here. Don't trade your P&L. Market doesn't give a fuck. Market doesn't care if you're up $1.5 million in one day. It just doesn't care. It doesn't care if you lose $3 million in one day and all you had was 2.9 million. All right, 4.5 minutes out here on this 5 minute. Gotten a lot of inside closes, a lot of wicks here. Looking to grab trade number 2 on the day. We'll get it. Vaz, love to hear it. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's no shame. If some of you guys need to do that, who cares? It's no one else's business but yours. No one sees what's on your monitor. Take a fucking sticky note, one that you can't see through, rip it in half, cover your P&L. Just say, okay, my job today is not to be green. My job is to take good trades. One good trade at a time for as long as setups are there. And then when I wrap it up and I'm about to leave, you can peek, take a look, say, all right, accept the outcome. Doesn't matter. I don't care if you're big red, big green, break even. I don't care. You did your job if you took good trade after good trade, however many there were that day. Oh, you ran to the bathroom, you missed a setup, so what? 3 minutes out here. On the 5 minute, we're still stuck around this 20 EMA. All right, let's take a look at the 1. Actually, market's starting to move finally a little bit here. 2 minute is not half bad, though I still have to say this here is a thought. So we'll keep an eye on that. And we'll look at that look here on the 5. All right, minute 13 out on the 5 minute. Again, we're sticking to that 20 EMA here. We gotta see something move away because this area is acting like glue. And I am not into it. We're getting a whole bunch of wicks. It's been a little while. It's been a couple of weeks since the 5 minute looked this ugly, I gotta tell you. All right, 20 seconds here. Let's see how this closes up. All right, inside that little range. All right, quick break. Back in a couple of minutes. Go nowhere. I'll know. All right, welcome back. Goodness, are you kidding me? Look at all these wicks. We'll get something. This market, you know, I mean, listen, how many times have we really seen it, even when the market was dead, like 2 months ago, where this happens on a 5-minute chart, and this is how it looks until the close? Almost never. We at least tend to break out in a direction, so it's just a matter of time here. We'll keep an eye out. I am not against taking scalps along the way if we get anything clean on like a 2-minute chart maybe. But it's not that clean right now. Right now we're just stuck around that 20 EMA. And it is not budging. Vinny, it's taking all my discipline not to scalp the edges here every time I want to. Those wicks are mine. Yeah, I mean, look. Realistically, I get it, guys. When you look at this. And not to say I'll never take a trade when it looks like this. You see me do it a million times. But when it looks like this, where it is all wicks, and the range itself is maybe 25 points wide, maybe 30, if you're being generous. And we have the 20 EMA kind of right in the middle. I get it, the top of the lower third, whatever. It's like, what's a reasonable expectation for a scalp? I don't know, maybe 10 points, honestly? But the question becomes, well, how do you manage your risk? And, you know, I think the most reasonable way to manage your risk, you're not going to use the edges, would be here and here. That's how I would do it if you forced me to take a trade. So, you know, I don't want to act like it's the end of the world. Like, you could structure something that might make sense, but I'm not really into it. A lot of beginner traders, they'll wait for something like this, and then they'll go, okay, good. Market's calm, I can trade. For me, that's kind of the last time I'd like to trade. Obviously, I'm not interested in just, you know, crazy bomb drop of a news volatility, of a news event volatility, which is seemingly kind of random and algorithmically driven for a few minutes. I'm not into that. That's not really what I'm after, but volatility is a good thing. This is not. It feels more comfortable, but this scares me more than this. Because it's like, we got to pull away from this 20 so we can do our job. Man, if you guys haven't yet, hit like on the stream while we sit here and wait. I greatly appreciate you doing so. Or fucking smash the dislike button. Same effect for me, man. I appreciate you doing it. We're going to break out one way or the other. At this point, honestly, I do not care which way we go. Just pick a direction. Give me 2 consecutive bars, And we're back in business, baby. Niles, actually a damn good idea. What do you guys think? Up or down? Get your vote in now, otherwise it doesn't count. Poll is in the chat. Do we break? Up or down? Damn, really? 3/4 of you think we're heading down? No, it's evening out a little bit. Oh, you late voters. You late voters are cheaters. Oh, goodness. Chris, what's up, big dog? Doing well. Hey, Derek, how we doing? I'm going to keep the poll running just because we're not sure if this is going to hold yet, so we'll see. But after a little while, these votes turn into cheats. Good timing to run that poll, though. All right, we're going to have to end that one, and I got to run a new poll. All right, new poll. Hey, which do we take out first? Low of day, high of day, or if you think we're going to stay in the range all day, smash neither. Now me, I would love to do some stop hunting here, but let's see. Let's clean this up as we go. Again, hey, those of you guys just pouring in, we're keeping an eye here on the 5-minute chart. No, Bo, good clarification. High of day, low of day for the poll is all after the bell. Okay, New York session only is what I'm considering. All right. We might have to do something here. We're about 20 seconds out. Again, we're looking at the 5-minute chart. Copy trader, engaged. We are finally seeing some kind of definitive nature out of that range. Now, this is a sizable bear body. However, being what it is, if we get a nice clean close, I have to slap a stop limit sell, which I will slap right there, and we'll give that about 30 seconds, see if we can get a fill, and we will then manage bar by bar if we do. If the bears don't take out the wick low of this signal bar, and we will. So, protective stop. We'll go up here. And we will suck this guy down to there. And see if the bears can take out that low, baby. Let's go, bears. And that's what you want to see, is being in the money quickly, but we've got quite a bit more resolution that I would like to see out of this trade. I do have my eye on low of day. My take profit buy order, my buy limit, is just below low of day. You know there's some stops down there, and I would like to participate in that stop hunting mentality if we can get a push within a reasonable amount of time down toward that low. Still, I'm managing bar by bar, so we'll see. I don't know how it's going to play out. We'll see how we end up needing to manage this, but I do know the rules in which to do so. So let's see what we get here. There you go, bears. Keep that pushing. Keep that pushing. All right, bears. Quite a bit more work to do here, bears. See if they can. About 2 minutes left on this 5-minute bar. Decent work here thus far out of the bears. All right, 90 seconds left here on this bar. Again, manage bar by bar if necessary. Back to a couple points in the money here on the trade. ATR here on the 5 is 23.6. That's decent. That's decent. But with this trade, you know, with that ATR, it's not necessarily unexpected that it takes a little bit of time. A little bit of extra time. But again, bar by bar management, we're never really sure. So let's see here how it goes bar by bar. We're about 35 seconds out from the close of this 5-minute. right, new 5-minute bar here. Let's see if the Bears can finally put in some work here on this bar. Kind of a wiki last 5-minute bar. You don't love to see it. It did put us in the money quickly, which is good. But we'll see here if the Bulls continue to try to step in, or if they end up kind of giving up here and letting the Bears head down lower, try to take out that low of day. If they do, the stop hunting will likely come into effect, and we will be out at take profit. There you go, Bears. Keep that moving. Keep that baby moving. All right, Bulls trying to step in. Let's see what they can do. Got about 3 minutes, 20 seconds left here on this 5-minute bar. Now listen, tell me, at this point in the trade, in the comments here, are you cooked? Are you scared? Are you out? Discipline. Big part of the game. I structured the trade in a way that made sense to me, and yes, I'm still watching bar by bar, we'll see. But there is not even close to a reason for me to pull this off yet. Minute 20 out here. Let's see how this bull bar closes up. All right, Bears wicking those Bulls back a little bit. The Bulls are certainly trying. Well, there's the rollover. And that there is a wiki wiki bull body. So there's no decision to make on that bar for me, so we let it sit. And take it bar by bar. Next one. 4 minutes out. All right, Bears, let's take that a bit lower, huh? Let's take that about 40 points lower. Take out those stops down at low of day. You know they're there. And us cave-dwelling bears are salivating in the shadows to brutalize the bull stops. All right, we still got about 3 minutes left on this 5-minute bar here. Now, something I start thinking about is, hey, does this bare body turn into this again, just a bit lower? We would need a lot more information to come to that conclusion than what we currently have. So, we'll let it work. Let the trade do its thing, see if it works for us. If not, risk is managed anyway. All right, Bears, what kind of backbone we got? Take it down through that previous bar's wick low. Here's the test. Apparently kind of a soft backbone, huh? Take a run at him. Well, you can't say the Bears aren't at least trying. All right, Bears, you take out 922. It is nothing but clear, bloody skies to the low of day. That's what we want to see. Man, if you guys haven't yet, hit the like button. Helps out tremendously, and I appreciate you doing so. Oh, Bears. Let's not let the Bulls do that now. There you go. Regain control. Let's take this baby lower. Now, by the way, if we can get what we're after, again, taking it bar by bar, but if we can get what we're after, we're looking at a reward here, about 8,000 bucks. So, Bears, now would be the time. Take this baby down through those previous 2-bar wick lows. We got to try to punch those stops at low a day. That's the key. All right, Bears regaining a little control, but not nearly what we'd like to see. Give it time, let it do its thing here. Now again, we got to start thinking. We saw this, right? We need more information, but just throwing this out there, we got to start thinking, does it turn into just a lower version of that? We'll keep an eye on that. All right, Bears, take control. Regain control. We got about a minute left here on this 5-minute bar. Bears wicking it back down inside. All right, we'll go next bar. All right, ATR here on the 5 is, I mean, it's holding up. We're at 22.5. Now, with an ATR of 22.5 and looking to take out the stops at low of day, of course, plus a little, that's the stop hunting mentality, that equals a reward look here, at least for me, of 40 points. Now, with an ATR sitting about 20, you would expect that kind of at a minimum here, this trade would take, well, you know, at least 10 minutes. Most likely you're looking at more like 20. We've been in the trade here for maybe about 20 minutes thus far. So you start to think, well, are we entering a trading range? Okay, maybe, but nothing has shot the idea in the foot for me. So there's zero management decision. Anything I could do right now would be emotional and inferior decision. Now, if it pops up, stops me out, part of the plan, don't care. Because a certain percentage of the time, it won't do that, and when you get inside closes, it eventually continues the move. So the idea has not changed. So we sit and we wait like men, like adults. And we see if it works for us. If not, we take it on the chin and we go to the next trade. By the way, we do have the 20 EMA here on the 5. Again, do I care because it's the 20 EMA? No. I care because I know a lot of people look at it. Therefore, a lot of algorithms are programmed to look at it because it's a popular EMA on a popular time frame. The 20 on the 5. So I throw it up. A lot of people ask, you know, why don't you use more indicators? Because they're only valuable if they're a self-fulfilling prophecy, and if they're not, then they're completely useless to me. Price action trading, right? Price action is king, it always will be. Every indicator is just showing you some kind of representation of price action, volume, whatever it may be. Time, mixed with time. So, you know, I'm not into it, but I'll throw one up just to avoid getting dizzy, kind of having a feel for where we're at. All right, there's the rollover. Shrinking bull body, right ahead of the EMA. Would I get long? The answer is absolutely not. So do I manage early? The answer is absolutely not. It's that simple. Don't overcomplicate it, man. Just do what you know you need to do. And move on with your life. All right, bulls. Let's see what the bulls are able to put something together here. So this trade had us in the money fast. It was very fast. We spent some time in the money, around break even, back in the money, and now the bulls are trying to get cute with us. Let's see if they can. Again, risk is managed above the original signal bar. And take profit is down just below low a day. Still looking to hunt stops if we can. All right, Bears, let's regain a little control. We're about halfway through this candle, this 5-minute bar. About 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. We're getting quite the storyline here, huh? About 30 minutes into the trade, a little less right now. And we're at the point in the trade where there's really not a lot of management left to do. The management now is basically server-side stop, server-side take profit. You know, we'll see if there's anything that we absolutely need to do. That's very obvious, but at this point in the trade, the way that this is developed, there's not a lot that I really need to do. And you know what? I like being in this position. Makes my life very easy, which is the important part. In trading, the easier you can make your decision making, the less confused you feel at any given time, the better. Which really is the only reason we have rules at all, is to keep us not confused, making consistent decisions so that our data makes sense, so that when we do develop an edge, we can keep it that way. Now, reward to risk on this trade, by the way, again, I said reward is about 8,000 bucks. If we could swing back, hit take profit, it's better than 1-to-1 on this trade by a reasonable margin. All right, bulls. They are putting in a decent little consecutive bull bar sequence, shrinking little bull bodies. You know, it's not tremendous. That's not what you want to see if you're a bull right now, but Right now, who's in control? Definitely the bulls at this very moment. Now let's see if they can take out the wick high of my original signal bar. And if they do, punch us out, we'll move on. We're not down and out yet. It ain't over till it's over. All right, these bulls. Probability at this point is certainly not in our favor. Again, to recap this trade, put us in the money very quickly. We did not get enough push through. Stop hunting mentality. We'll see if the bulls can take out the wick high of our signal bar. If they can, we'll get stopped and push on. But it put us in the money quickly and kind of lost steam. Again, I was looking to take out stops down here, low of day. Probability very, very low at this point. Let's see if the bulls take it out. Well, I mean, the Bears are trying to hold them off, man. I think we might be cooked. That's what the probabilities say right now, is that we are cooked. But even when you're green, if this were flipped and I was sitting long right now and we were in the green, stop down low, take profit up top, people like to jump to conclusions. They're saying, "Oh, an awesome trade, man. Oh, I took such a great trade." It happens both ways. It can come right to your take profit, turn around, stop you out. Happens pretty often, actually. And it can also happen the other way around. Now, probability of that occurring is lower when you're in this state. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. All right, Bulls. You got it in ya? Do the Bulls have it in them to take out this signal bar? Maybe I shouldn't challenge them too much. We have now been within 1 point of triggering the stop. That's a decent bull body. Well, these bears are just barely keeping us alive here. Oh, man. You imagine? Can you imagine if we curled? 1 point within stopping out? I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it. But that would be the miracle on Wall Street. Or I guess LaSalle, since we're trading futures. But man, this is kind of nuts that this has taken this long. Well, we're getting stuck to this 20 EMA on the 5 again, which is not tremendous. Man, I don't know, man. Hey, drop some. At this point, management is server side, man. So at this point, it's up to fate. And who knows? So go ahead and drop some blow emojis in the comments here. Maybe we can make this baby go. And lock in the miracle on Wall Street. What do you think? All right, well, I mean, here comes the rollover. We're 7 seconds out from the close of this 5-minute bar. There it is. Oh, Bears, are you going to do it? I really don't want to speak too soon. Are you kidding me, Bears? Oh, man. Again, hey, it ain't over till it's over. But this has been quite the interesting trade thus far. In the money, quick break even. In the red, bull push within 1 point of getting stopped. That's the story thus far. Let's see, man. Well, for those of you guys just joining us, you may... Do I even say this? You may be currently experiencing the miracle on Wall Street. I got short on the close of this big surprise bear body. Pushed us in the money quick, came back to break even, went a little in the red, took on some heat, took on a bull move that required no management, interestingly enough. Got within 1 point of stopping out. This has all been set since this bar's close. Within 1 point of stopping out, and we are now back to essentially break even on the trade. The idea is still the same. We've got low of day, at least New York session low, down here at 23.9. Now, that is a level, okay? 23.9 is a level. So I'm going to keep an eye on that because the market, you know, it likes to form double tops, double bottoms, especially as of late in the current environment. You know, that's probably different depending when you're watching this back. But if we can take out those stops at low of day, it's a little bit of free liquidity. It adds just a little bit to your edge if you can get that done consistently. So let's see here, man. Can we take out those wick lows of those previous little bars that we were in the money on? Oh, goodness. Oh, bears. At this point, just get it done for us for the story. This is ridiculous. Oh, man. I mean, I've got my eye on this low here, where my cursor's at. Kind of 922.50. That's a big deal. Let's see if the bears can get it done here. Now, again, as far as management at this point, there is nothing for me to do. Nothing. It is all server side, man. So we'll sit and we'll learn our fate together. All right, Bears. Make a bit of a definitive decision. Take it through those wick lows. Those things are a problem. At least they have been. But if we can get down through those wick lows, I think you end up with some blood dripping from the fangs of bears. Looking to take out that low a day. Those stops that are certainly down there. All right, Bears. Coming in for the test of those wick lows at 922.50. And there's not a damn thing for us to do. Except watch this baby play out at this point. All right, Bears coming in for the test yet again. 922.50 is that area. Let's see if they can get it done. Doji closed there out of the 5 minute. What an absolutely ridiculous trade thus far this has been. Bears are really hesitating a bit to take it down through those wick lows at 922.50. At least they did on that test. I think they can get it done. Especially with this consecutive bear bar sequence. I think they can get it done. All right now, Bears. You've taken us this far. Let's get it done for the story at this point. Again, taking a look. Those wick lows at 922.50. Right now, that's our number one concern. Well, I suppose not concerned because we are completely hands off at this point. Both sides are server side. Both the stop and the take profit. Again, this is a stop hunting mentality down at low of day 23.9. We do have 922.50. And if this hits, this will officially be the miracle on Wall Street. We got pushing the money quickly, went back to break even, took on a little bit of heat, saw a slow, grindy bull push up to 1 point. 1 point from our stop. That stop was already there. We did not set that after that curl. That was right above the wick high of their signal bar. So let's see, man. We will again learn our fate together here. All right, what do you say, Bears? Can we do some work? Head down, take out those lows, punch out a few stops, and give us a fill in what would certainly be one of my most ridiculous trades, probably of all time. I don't know, man. Hey. Well, I do know. What I know is that it's server side and we have nothing to do at all. But in the comments, am I cooked? Am I cooked? Or is this one of the most ridiculous trades I've ever taken? Probably ever seen. Just based on the way that this is played out. I don't know. What do you think? Now remember here, our reward to risk on this trade, I almost called it a scalp, on this trade is better than 1-to-1. So even if we were to assess the probabilities at this exact moment as 50-50, guess what that equals when you run it through the equation, the trader equation? That equals edge, right? So we're leaving it, man. We're leaving it. Not to mention we have the stops down low. That could potentially add a few points on with our server-side take profit just below. All right, Bears. All right, we still got our eye on 922.50. Those are those wick lows. Let's see if the Bears can come in and give us a test. And from there it's bloody skies all the way down to low of day. A whole lot of wicks in this little region, though. $22.50. Watching it. Here comes the test. Do it to him, Bears. Take it through. Do it out of principle at this point. Oh, beauty. Beauty. Ain't over till it's over, man. Long way to go. Long way to go. There's a new 5-minute bar. That's a clean bear close, closing pretty much at the low of the body. So now let's see, man. You know those bulls are going to try to take it back up into, the range. Let's see if the Bears can just overpower them. All right. 23.9. 23.9 is the area to beat. We've got room in between there. We've got some space we got to fill. Still got about 20 points till the test. But right where my cursor is, bottom of this bar here, that is New York session low of day. Really, now that we've broken these, that's the next area to watch. Remember, it ain't over till it's over, man. All right, Bears. Get it done, baby. Take this down. Give us a test, a low a day. 23.9. Pop it through. Take out those stops. And put us flat with blood dripping from our fangs as we head back to the cave. Of 15 more points. All right, Bears. Do it to him. Do it to him. Oh, goodness. We're within 5 points of the test. 5 points can be an eternity. So let's see. We're trying to step in. It's all right. Again, management. Not for me on this trade. Oh, man. It ain't over, man. Not even close. 23-9. 23-9 could be a son of a gun. We need to get lower and test that baby. But we have been all over the board on this trade. Big old doji close, man. You'll love to see that. All right, Bears. Go. Go. Take out that low of day. 23-9. Book it. Book it. Do it for the story. Area to watch, 23-9. Make it happen, Bears. These last 20 or so points are proving to be a son. Well, it's all been a son of a gun, but we'll keep an eye on this here. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing to do at this point. I'm not moving to break even. I'm not taking it early. I'm not cutting it early. Everything is server side. We put it on for a reason, and it's going to stay that way. We got within literally 1 point of getting stopped. And I'm having fun, man. All right, Bears, do it to them. I can't say grow a backbone because this has been nothing but backbone out of the Bears since that push higher out of the Bulls. But a little more backbone never hurt. Okay, so ATR update here on the 5-minute chart. The average true range is now sitting at 18.5. So we're a little bit more than an average true range from our take profit. We're about an ATR from the test of low of day, which is right ahead of our take profit at 23.9. Listen, I cannot stress enough. It ain't over till it's over. That goes for any trade. All right, Bears. Don't let them do that now. Let's step in and get this thing done. Those Bulls are trying. They're giving it a shot. That's all right. So nothing we haven't seen before on this trade, huh? All right, Bears, flip this bar back to our side. And let's take this down through 23.9. It's all right, Bulls. We'll let you try. We'll let you take a run at it. We were kind of sticking right to this 23.920 area. Time to put the Bulls on the chopping block. Again, a break, a low a day is our ticket. 23.9. Break of that, and our ticket gets punched. That's what we got to see. All right. We've got a new 5-minute bar. Is this our bar? I don't know, man. If this is our bar, we're making a pretty decently sized ask out of volatility compared to the ATR. ATR on the 5 minutes currently 16. Well, 23.920 to 23.925 as a range in the last few minutes is being a real son of a gun. That's all right, Bulls. We'll let you try. But come on, Bears. We got to see that low a day. Get sniped. Yeah, low a day is sitting right where my cursor is, right at 23.9. It's not a nothing level. It is there. So, you know, even at our best point in the trade so far, which has been this wick low, coming within about 4 or 5 points of that low a day, again, I cannot repeat enough, it ain't over till it's over. right, Bulls. Give this up, baby. Just gotta see a break a low a day. Again, that in and of itself. We've been seeing double bottoms form. But we entered this trade with a stop hunting mentality, and damn it, that's how it's gonna stay. All right, Bears. We've still got an eternity until we even get a test. 13 points. I don't hate that close out of the Bears. We'll take that close. You know, is it tremendous? No. But I'll take that. Take it through, Bears. Do it to them. 10 points out from a test of 23.9, which is low of day. Low of the New York session. It's teasing. It's teasing. Bears! Come on now, don't let the Bulls do that. That's a couple of tests down toward 904, 905. 23.9 is what we need. We gotta see that baby break. That'll trigger some of the Bulls' stops. And punch our ticket, and then we can head back to the cave. All right, Bears. Let's take another run at him. Do it. Bulls try to bounce it yet again. All right, Bears, let's go. Let's go. Let's take a run at him. Take another run at him. Here we go. Do we get a test? 23.9, low of day of the New York session at least. 5 regions. Some buyers up there, stepping ahead. We just need one good run at it. One good run at it out of the bears. And we can punch our ticket. Take it to him, bears. Do it to him. Here we go. Is this the test of 23-9? We gotta take out that low a day. Punch us out. Come on, bears. Take it through. Do it to them. Getting teased. Do it. Do it. Do it. Cursor is low of day of the New York session. New 5-minute bar, decent close out of the bears, but right ahead of that low a day at 23.9. There's the test. Oh man, bears, take it through, take it through. One more good run at those stops. You know there's a bunch of stops right under low a day. Hit them. Hit him, trigger him. Those bulls, they're saying, double bottom, I don't know. Not a chance. Take it through, bears. Those bulls are trying. They're stepping in. Oh, man. Come on now. One good run, bears. One good run at them. We got through the low a day a couple of ticks. When that happens, you're not really triggering the majority of the stops. Most stops are going to be maybe about a point. At least, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 ticks beneath that curl. We need a little harder run. Little harder run. We entered this trade as a stop hunt. I am not going to change that mentality now, no matter what happens here. Take it through, bears. One more good run. Do it. Do it. Do it. Take it through 23.9. Those bulls are sweating. They got stops down there. This is a tease. We got within 1 point of getting stopped out on this trade. We've been in the trade for damn near an hour and a half. All we need is for the bears to take one good run at this low of day. One good run. And we'll trigger enough bull stops to punch our ticket and head back to the cave, man. Let's see. Let's see. All right, Bears. One last good run. Without the stops getting triggered, at least a tad, my trade idea is not complete. And taking it off here, as much as some of you want me to, is breaking my own rules, and how the hell am I going to respect myself if I do that? A lot of you guys don't think like that enough. You say, it's all right, I'll cut the corner that I set for myself. Not a chance, baby. This thing is either cut and breaking those stops, the Bears are taking one more good run, or I'm dying with it. Break a 23.9. Let's go, Bears. Take it through. Another test. Do it to them, Bears. They're trying. The miracle on Wall Street. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. That was one of the most ridiculous trades I have ever taken in my life. Not necessarily dollar-wise. I did not see that coming. Not setup-wise. We were in that trade for 90 minutes. It pushed us in the money quickly. It grinded against us. Came within 1 point of stopping us out above our signal bar wick high, which was put there for a reason, and curled and grinded all the way back to take out a few stops and hit our take profit. Guys, sometimes discipline, it's always about maintaining your trading edge, but sometimes it's about being able to respect yourself enough to stay in the game. If you start taking shit early, all you do is make your entire trading life, data, but trading life in general, very messy. It confuses every decision you need to make during the day, and that's not what we're here to do. We're here to stay as crystal clear as humanly possible because we already live in a fog. That trade could have gone either way. But baby, you just witnessed the miracle on Wall Street, and I'm having a great time today. Let's move on! What a beautiful trade, man. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it, baby. All right, 3 minutes out to the close of this next 5-minute bar. That was quite the ridiculous trade. And damn right, I'm out of coffee, man. I'm gonna go hit that in a second. What a ridiculous storyline on that one, huh? Max, that's right. That's right. That goes for all you guys. If you set rules for yourself and break them, and I did this. I used to do this to myself. And honestly, yeah, it screws up the trading data. It messes it up. It makes it impossible to track. But more importantly, it makes you feel like shit. And how in the fuck are you supposed to operate at a high level in anything in life at all, let alone here at the charts, if you cannot trust the decisions that you're making based on the rules you set for you? You know, I say all the time, this is about fuck everybody else. This is about not letting your family down. But the way that happens is you can't let you down. If you let yourself down, your family is just a byproduct. And it's not going to go well. If you set rules for yourself, you know, on principle almost, follow them. You set them to try to make your data look good, okay? You can get all in your head throughout the day and say, I think I should do this instead. Then why'd you set the rule the way it is? Adjust tonight. Adjust over the weekend. Follow it right now. See how the data looks. If you look on Sunday and it's like, that rule is not working well, it's making my data look worse, then adjust it. Intraday is not the time. Intraday is the time to respect yourself. And eventually, you're going to refine the data to a point where your decision making is very easy. You're having fun while you're trading, which I used to not give a shit about. But at this point in my life, man, I've come to the conclusion that I didn't become a trader to be miserable. You can be miserable and stressed out, which is not a fun life sitting here staring at the chart. Make your decision making easy. Be stress-free, at least as much as we can, right? And have a good time while you're doing this. You can make a whole lot of money, but also not hate your life. That's not why you want to do this. It took me a little while to finally figure that out. I'm like, nope, don't give a shit. I'll hate my life as long as I'm making money. That's not the way to go. It's really not the way to go, man. It's not fun to sit here and be stressed and hate what you're doing. A lot of you have been down that road. I've been down that road. You know how you have fun trading? You be stress-free. You know how you be stress-free? Well, you have an inkling of what your data says. You follow your own plan so you respect yourself, which you're not going to be having fun if you're not respecting yourself because you can't trust your own decision-making. When you do that, when you lock into that mentality, your life, I think, at the charts becomes a lot better, and therefore, as an extension, the rest of your life gets better because you're not stressed out. Believe it or not, I think if you break a whole bunch of rules and you're red on the day, even if you're green on the day, but especially if you're red, you walk out of your office or you come home from work and you were trading at work, let's say, if you're a piece of shit to your family, man, you fucked up. I don't care if you make $8 million a month. You fucked up if you're a motherfucker to your family. That's not the point. You have to enjoy yourself and have a good time at the charts. All right, take it from me. I wasn't in that boat for a while. Red days affected me. Don't do it. Two minutes, 50 seconds left here on this 5-minute bar. Sanchez, how would you feel if that went back and hit your stop loss? I'd say move on, next trade. Next trade. It was a ride, man. Whatever the outcome was. All right, guys, hey. Just announced last night, Apex is 80% off. Single day pass. Use code BIG, B-I-G, baby. Subscribe to the channel. We're back at it here tomorrow morning. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good afternoon. Hey, stay patient. Let the setup come to you. And follow your plan. If anything, it lets you respect yourself, and when you respect yourself, you're going to trade better, I promise. Have a good afternoon. See you guys tomorrow.